Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Filmometer, YouTube's greatest movie review show. I'm your host, Eric Chung, and to start this series off, we're taking a look at Jiang Yao Fu Mo, or Demon Demon in English. Demon Demon is a Chinese movie that was released on April 19th, 2020. Directed by Jiang Yao Fu Mo, the movie has a 70-minute runtime. If you've watched my previous video documenting my research on Jiang Yao Fu Mo, or the Chinese Eggman, then you'll know why I'm reviewing this particular movie. If you haven't watched that video, I'd highly recommend watching it. Now as for the movie review, I'll actually attempt to make a genuine and real review of the movie. I know this whole thing is just a giant joke, but I actually want to try and review this movie. So without further ado, let's get into it. The movie follows Taoist priest Li, his disciples, and their journey through different time periods to eliminate the evil demons. Now this leads me to my first big complaint. The plot is kind of a mess. While it doesn't do anything inherently wrong, the execution is just kind of sloppy. While it pains my heart to speak ill of Eggman's work, I had to say it. The time traveling aspect of a movie was really unnecessary, and if anything, made the movie harder to understand. They started in World War II China and swapped between there and modern China. The placing of a final battle was also very odd. It occurred at the middle of a movie, and after the big evil demon was captured, not much happened. The first half of the movie was actually not that bad, but the last half had very little content and got really weird. Like, there's a part where Priest Li transforms into a woman and tries to seduce a Japanese soldier. It's just really wacky. I think that the story had potential, but that they tried to do too much, and since the movie was a very small production, they weren't able to accomplish everything that was possible. With only 10 people listed in the cast, it's pretty clear that Demon Demon had a very small budget. Even though I wasn't able to find any information on its budget or the box office, I was able to judge that the budget was very small. Now I completely mean it when I say that Eggman completely carried this movie. He was the reason I started the movie, and he was also the reason that I stayed. I completely hated every other cast member. They were really bad and annoying, and I just hated them so much. But I was glad that Eggman's comforting presence was in nearly every scene of a movie. Now considering the talent pool that Chinese Hollywood offers, then I guess the acting wasn't that terrible. My favorite scene of a movie would be hands down the first battle between Priest Li and Su Su, the main villain. The choreography of the battle was actually pretty good, and it was really fun to watch. It was just a really epic and fun fight. Now unfortunately, the rest of the battles in the movie wouldn't be as epic or well choreographed. They didn't have much action or momentum, and a lot of the camera angles were just weird. But the thing that really let me down would be the last battle where Li and his disciples chase and capture Su Su. It went over like a 24-hour period, and it was just really long. It was a really anticlimactic ending, and her death was just weird. Now this is where I liked the movie the most. It was pretty funny. It had some genuinely funny moments and jokes. The movie didn't take itself too seriously, and it even played with Eggman's head, which was really funny. I actually think that the humor is good enough that it covers for the poor acting and cinematography. I found the bloopers to be pretty funny, and I enjoyed watching Priest Li completely deny Li Pinger's seduction. All things considered, I think that Demon Demon isn't that bad of a movie. For being straight out of China, it's not that bad compared to the other movies. Although, if you compare it to Western films, it's pretty bad. Jiang Yao Fu Mo completely carried this movie, and if you're an Eggman enthusiast, I put a link in the description so that you can watch the movie. I found the movie fun and enjoyable, and Eggman's presence throughout the whole thing made it even better. So after putting it through the Filmometer, it has received a rating of 4 out of 10 stars. Anyways, that's it for this episode of the Filmometer. If you enjoyed this video, please sub and like, and if you didn't, dislike and please comment what you didn't like. I'm Eric Chung, and see you in the next one.